Hello, my name is Renee from Joy for the Journey. I'm a homeschool mom of 3. Today's video is about how we do writing in our homeschool and how we make it fun. This video is in collaboration with Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from Waldock Way. Each month they have a different topic that homeschool moms can share about, and then they upload those videos into a collaboration playlist for you to enjoy. If you'd like to check out that playlist, it will be in the description. So today I'm going to go ahead and talk about how we do writing in our homeschool. And I want to start by saying that, of course, writing really comes from a strong foundation in being a reader and a love of, hearing books, knowing how to retell books. And as a Charlotte Mason inspired homeschooler, we read lots and lots of books, and it's really important that if they are able to tell those stories or narrate those stories, if they understand those stories, if they're hearing them, then writing will come much easier. So what we do is each month, we have a different topic that we're really excited about and learning about that is part of a bigger picture. So this year our topic was Journey Through the Continent. So each month we had a different focus. So it was on a different continent, and within that month, each week was a different aspect of that continent: the land, the animals, the people, the culture, things of that nature. And so from there, my son, who is my first grader, was able to select a topic to write about. So this month, our topic, this past month in February actually, was Africa. And so he was able to write about things he was interested in. For example, this past week, he picked to read about and listen to books that I read to him about cheetahs, and then we use that information for him to tell back what he learned. So it's kind of like written narration in a sense. So how we do that is I have a little research booklet that I'll show you in a moment, and he circles different things he's learned about the animal, and then he uses that information to help him write about it. So at the beginning of the week, we would start reading the book that is our spine about that topic that he wants to learn about or that we've chosen to learn about together. And so I read aloud to him, and then we use that information for him to develop his topic sentence. So the start of the week, Monday, is usually his topic sentence. He might go ahead and start writing some details that he learned, kind of in a sense it's like a narration back, or drawing conclusions from details. So then each day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he's adding more details, and by Thursday or Friday, he's doing his conclusion sentence. And he's, each day with me, I go ahead and I use smiley face sentence, like little checklist where we go through and we edit as we go. And that way he doesn't have a lot of sentences to edit all at once at the end of the week. And so then he has a complete paragraph on that topic, more or less. So that is how we do that in a nutshell. And then each week he writes about a different aspect of the continent and makes those little, one page, writings. And then we put those together into a little book for the continent. So each month he's making a book. Then we go onto the computer and I teach him how to make a book cover. So I will search for graphics and, in a safe way, and then he'll point or tell me which one he wants. And then I will show him how to make a screenshot of the image, and then it appears on the desktop, and then we drag that into the Word document, and I help him to type and how to resize the image and to print that out, and then we will glue that onto a piece of construction paper, and we have the back construction paper in the front, and we staple the book together, and there we go. We have his book that month of all his writing, and we put hole punches in that, and then at the end of the year, or when he's ready, he puts it into his portfolio, or I do. And he really loves it because he feels like he's writing books, and sometimes he's wanted to actually house them on our bookshelf, and he feels really good about them. So that's 1 week of the month where he picks an animal to research about. 1 or 2 of the other weeks he'll choose to write on a suitcase writing paper this year. So if our continent, for example, this one was North America, then he could write about any aspect of North America. Like, he could write a travel story, he could write about a place that he wants to visit, or he could write about what he learned about a place, landform. He could write about a landmark. He could write about any aspect of the continent. And then another day or week, he could do an opinion postcard. Another resource for writing, or way we write, is using Draw Right Now. And they have books on so many topics. And basically what it is they provide a passage to copy, and then they provide a directed drawing. And I have a whole video I did on different ways to use Draw right now, and briefly the child could just use it as copy work, or they could use it as an opportunity to narrate back in their own words. They could cover up all the sentences but want to do one at a time if they're younger, or don't want it so visually busy. And so what's great about these books is, again, they have so many different topics. This one is on animals around the world, so it worked perfect for us for my Journey Through the Continents unit studies. So the weeks we did animals, if we wanted to take a little break or do something a little different one day, we could go, oh, you want to learn about this African animal, and we'd find an African animal or an animal from that continent in this book, and he could do a little copy work, or he would also be able to put it in his own words. It also has a question at the bottom in this yellow box, and so that would be another opportunity for him to, if he did just do copy work that day, then either the next day or the same day, use this as a little research opportunity and then write the answer to his question in his own words from what he learned. Another way we've used it is he would write his own topic sentence, because they really just provide kind of detailed sentences. And so he had a little bit of his own writing and some of theirs, or he would add a closing sentence, or again, he would, rewrite it, some of the words in his own words. So this is really helpful to break it up, or even just to use as a standalone, depending on your writing goals. And when we use the Draw right now, we don't put that into a booklet necessarily. We use this primary journal. It's really nice because this notebook has a place for drawing, and then it has the primary writing lines for them. And so he will use these pages to do his Draw Right Now writings. Well, something that makes writing fun is changing up the genres, or picking genres your kid likes the most. My son likes, writing informational, but we also will change it up. We also enjoy making cards. So anytime one of his homeschool friends has a birthday or family members, we make our cards, and he can take that as a writing opportunity that day instead of his normal writing. And then he loves writing lists. His Christmas list, really, he got into it. It ended up being like several pages. And then when we went camping, he wrote a list of things he would need to bring to go camping. And so he really enjoys those types of things. Writing letters is a really great way for them to practice their writing. So we do that too. When we do other genres like letter, card writing, journal entries, I forgot to mention that, he has a little journal, and once in a while, he hasn't gotten to that too much, but he might want to write something about, that's going on, or a thought or a feeling or whatever in his little journal. And so those are things that can't go in the portfolio, because you give letters to the person, you give cards to the person, the journal is a separate place. So anything like that I put on a writing log. This year, the week we do the animal of the continent, we do this little research booklet that I made. And so it's draw your animal. You could put what sound does it make, how does it move, and then we do a directed drawing from YouTube. Then he can tell the most special feature adaptations of the animal. And basically, this little booklet's preparing him to write. So you'd circle its covering, if it's a vertebrate or invertebrate, what type of vertebrate it is. If we read the book and it talks about height and weight, we could add that, or just use describing words. We talk about food and prey, talk about predators, talk about if it's domestic or wild, and if it's domestic, where would you see it, or when it in its domestic form, and in the wild, where would you see it. So then that's a talk about biomes and habitats. And so it's like amazing how you can just reinforce these things again and again in very quick, easy, fun ways, and they get it. And then he can circle what continent it's found on, or if it's various places. He described the life cycle. And then he, before I staple it, I might even let him leave the pages apart so he can quickly set them up against, the wall where his desk is, and see the pages and use them as a way to help him write, or he refers to the book that we read and can use some of the words from there to copy and make into his own words and draw conclusions about what he learned, kind of in a sense of narrating back what he heard and what he learned, but putting it in his own words and ideas. And so again, he starts with his topic sentence, and then he has his detail sentences, and then he would have his conclusion, which at this age is usually a thought or feeling or an opinion. I think they're cute. And I made this paper that explains what I said about how we do, you know, the preparing, brainstorming, and gathering on Monday, and then, you know, reading more and adding details Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, / starting the conclusion, and how each day we do like a quick little edit with him, whatever sentences he wrote that day. This is his writing workshop folder. Things he's working on and isn't finished with for the week or month are in the green side, and if he's finished it and we need to put it together into a book, it goes on the red side. And so we use this smiley face sentences. So he gets the circle if he used capitals and periods. He gets, you know, 1 eye for finger spaces, 2 eyes, spell words correctly, the mouth, my writing is neat, I tried my best, and the little hat for I wrote my name on my paper. The word wall we use sometimes. He can refer to this. Obviously, in homeschool, we're right there with them, so we can, you know, guide them to sound out the word and help them to spell it correctly. So then again, he would put together his book for that month. So the month we did North America, he would put his map and his suitcase writing paper and his opinion postcard and then his animal research booklet all together into a little book. He's also made a book this year on severe weather natural disasters that was of interest to him. And so that month we focused on that topic, but each week we focused on a different one. So 1 week was tornadoes, 1 week was volcanoes, 1 week was hurricanes, and then we put those writings together into a book for the month. And then we fit in germs because he randomly read a book about germs and he's like, I want to write about germs. I'm like, all right, awesome. So, you know, it is really, in a sense, written narration. They're reading about it, or you're reading to them about it, and then they're telling you back what they learned, or, you know, putting it in their own words. So it's great. So that is what is going on in our writing in a nutshell, and ways that we try to make it fun. So it's a combination of me developing the unit studies, and then within that, at his age, it's helpful that he kind of has like a framework, but can also pick also like what specific animal or what landform or landmark or thing, and whether he wants it to be a story or an informational piece. And then of course, like I said, mixing other genres in, like, you know, journals, letters, making cards, things of that nature, having a combination of copy work and him writing his own words. Mostly for him right now, it's been writing his own words and drawing conclusions and kind of narrating back what he is learning or reading. And other things we look forward to exploring in the future are how-to writing. That's a fun topic or a genre for them to do, where they explain how to do something. So they just learn how to tie their shoe or make a peanut butter sandwich or how to ride their bike. They can explain in their own words how they did that. So that is it in a nutshell. I hope you will like and subscribe and check out some of the other videos in the collaboration playlist. Thank you.